when you're the asset, when it's your time that is the asset and you're trading your time for money, this is so limiting because you've only got so much time.
He said he wants a survey done for the big craft, so that's what he wants us to do next, Bill. We need to figure out getting a structural survey done.
The property has come back to market and the agent has rang us straight away saying, do you want it? Do you want to move forward with it? They're happy to accept the price that you offered before.
I mean, sound obviously positive. They've said that they've sent over proof of funds and that they're happy to move forward, and these guys seem like they've got a lot of money there.
Yes guys, welcome to a new video. So today we're going to be going over a few things which is a little bit weird because I was away on holiday for a week, and obviously the business doesn't stop just because I go on holiday, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about what it's like about running a business and why property is such a powerful business to run when you're away from the properties, when you're on holiday and you're away and you've got a team around you and you've built something sustainable for the longer term. Why this is so key and why I love property investing and why I aim to build this business better and better and better and better as time goes on. But the key number one thing which I wanted to tell you guys about with this is why I left being a physiotherapist and why I moved into the space of property. Because I've run multiple businesses now. I've run a physiotherapy business, I've run a health and wellbeing business which I exited and sold before I got into property. Not that I left with a lot of money after I exited and sold that business, but what I learned from doing this and running businesses over the last 7.5 years or so has been like vital to why I am where I'm at today and why I build my business the way I do now. Is because when I was a physio and when I was working within these other businesses, what I was doing was I was always running for time for money. And when you're the asset, when it's your time that is the asset and you're trading your time for money, this is so limiting because you've only got so much time. So obviously you need to build your business in a way where you are no longer the asset. Let's use physiotherapy for example. If I built a physiotherapy clinic, it might be that I have other physiotherapists that come in and work underneath me, because then I'm removing myself from being the asset and other people are the asset. But with property, with the online education stuff, with like networks and communities, and I'm trying to think of other things like clothing and all these kind of things, when you're not the asset that makes money, that is where the superpower is. And my choice for this was going into the world of property because I didn't want to be the asset anymore. I wanted to take myself away from being the asset and I wanted to put my focus on building assets that are going to pay me over time. So yes, when I take on a new property or we get a new property, whether I'm doing a refurb on that property, whether I'm doing some decoration in the property or staging it and getting it ready, that is a lot of work and I don't get paid a lot of the time for that work. But what you do get paid for is that property running for years and years afterwards, just having to do little bits of maintenance checks, little bits here and there, but the majority of the time that property holds its own now, and that is the asset that makes money. And with property investing, and especially when you own properties, when you pair the fact of that you are now holding an asset which pays you on a monthly basis or a nightly basis if you're doing serviced accommodation, and then that asset as well appreciates over time and goes up in value, that is a superpower. That in itself is why I do what I do and why I work in property investing and why I will never look at anything else. I mean, say looking at anything else, of course you're going to diversify, but my main cash flowing, money making activity is going to be in the property industry because I love it. I think it's great, and this is why I want to share this journey with you guys and inspire you guys to get into property, because that is where the superpower is. So now that we've gone over that and I've talked over that a little bit, we're going to be talking today about how I've been managing and how I've built the business in a little bit to be able to work away on holiday and the business is still run without me, and things that maybe didn't go so well whilst I was away, and then things that are obviously going really well that worked whilst I was away, and how we're going to be able to move that forward. And I think the key thing here is you're always going to need people, and you're always going to need people that you can trust. And that is one of the hardest things that I think I've learned about business. It's finding the right people, being able to take on the right people, to be able to trust the right people, but also take people on that are either willing to learn and be educated and willing to learn from you and learn your processes, or that are already better than you at specific things. And I think that that is the really important part, is finding people that are going to be better than you, that you see more potential in them to be better than you in the future, but you're just be able to like guide the ship and guide the boat. Especially me as the CEO of my businesses, it's very key for me being able to just guide the business in where it needs to go. So now that we've got all that kind of stuff covered and out of the way, I thought we'd just go over a little bit of stuff that's happened over the last week, and we've got some live footage of this from the actual week itself, and I can talk to you guys about why this works in the right way and how this works in the right way. So over this last week, like I say, the business doesn't stop. We've still had deals that are potentially going through. We've still had things in the pipeline. We've still had investors that we need to find deals for. So myself and the team have been looking at filling the pipeline and getting some properties over the line. And it's my job, especially whilst I was working away, to make sure we manage this. So we had some viewings last week where we had some investors for a certain property, and we wanted to make sure that these investors were happy with it. So they wanted to view the property. Obviously, I'm not in the country, but we have a estate agent, we have other members of our team. The system's out there, and there is offered services out there. There's something called Viewber as well, where you can actually get somebody to go do the viewing for you. They'll give you a little bit of a breakdown of everything that you need from the property, which is really, really helpful and really, really cool. But at the end of the day, it's just so important to make sure you get a system and a process that works for you. So some of the guys were at a viewing this week with some of our investors. So this property had a lot of stuff going for it. It was a very good refurbishment opportunity and a very good deal. It had sold previously. We put an offer in before it sold before. Our offer didn't get accepted. The property has come back to market, and the agent has rang us straight away saying, do you want it? Do you want to move forward with it? They're happy to accept the price that you offered before, which is amazing that they've come back to us straight away. So yes, we was. So we needed to go view the property. We had some investors in mind for this property that were on our bespoke investor list. If you are an investor and you're interested in that, link in the description. We can jump on a call. We can have a chat about that kind of thing. But they were interested in this property, and we found out some really, really interesting stuff at the viewing as well. And I can show you guys what happened at the viewing and what me and my brother were talking about afterwards when we were looking to stack up the deal and sorting out the things that needed sorting in the next step.
Tomato juice all over fucking house.
5:15. That's a bit late for Bloody Marys.
He said he wants a survey done for the big crack, so that's what he wants us to do next, basically, figure out getting a structural survey done. I mean, sound obviously positive. They've said that they've sent over proof of funds and that they're happy to move forward, and these guys seem like they've got a lot of money there.
So yeah, as you can see, like when we get deals like this that are really, really kind of juicy, good deals with a lot of potential in them, we want to make sure that we're presenting them to investors in the best way possible. And this is really easy because with our team, we're going to be potentially looking to outsource this to virtual assistants and stuff in the future as well. But with our team, we create like these investment PDFs basically, where they're all branded up, they look really good, and it's a really nice, easy way for people to digest the numbers. And we really, really value a fact of how conservative we are with our numbers, but not only conservative, but how like detailed we are in the approach, like how we break down refurbs and showing the comparables for the end values of properties, especially when it comes to the buy, refurbish, refinance stuff. And then obviously showing the numbers on the actual cash flow side of it. So whether it's a serviced accommodation or a HMO, or even something to do with like a single let with supported living or social housing and stuff like that. We really, really like to show the potentials of all these other options. And we find these kind of PDFs very, very useful to be able to show them to investors, and the investors being able to digest all the information and make a decision on this property with the key details of what they need right in front of them, which I think is really, really key. If you don't do stuff like this and you don't show people it, I would definitely recommend looking at doing this a little bit further. But yeah, it was actually crazy because me and my brother, we spent a lot of time on the phone whilst I was away. I did make sure on this holiday that I was doing my work and having my time doing my work, but then I was also enjoying myself and spending time with my girlfriend and her family and everyone that we were away with as well, because that side of it was really important. And I had an incredible holiday, and what it really did teach me is about the ability of being able to balance these certain aspects of my life with all these other aspects of my life. If you are looking at my hands a little bit weird, like I have been painting and decorating one of our new properties today, so I've just come home. It is currently 9:20, but I was like, I have to make this video for you guys, I have to film it. So yeah, we are getting this content done for you. But like I was saying, the holiday was so good. I was having opportunities. I was sipping my what were I drinking? I was having gin and tonics. I was having some pina coladas out there as well, making some Bloody Marys, and I was on the phone, walking around the pool, or even in the lounger at some points, doing a little bit of work, and then we were getting all of the conversations and all the things I needed. I were on the phone to Steve, my mentor, at some points as well, asking him kind of what kind of things we would do. There's a big conversation that we were having about this property that you'd seen the viewing earlier on. The property there had some really clearly like big cracks in the property, and we wanted to make sure that the property was going to be a good, safe investment. So we were looking at kind of how do we make sure that these numbers and these issues with the property aren't going to cost us too much more money. And obviously that was the way of getting a survey. So when you get a survey on a property, especially a structural survey, it can tell you what some of the issues are. But we had a structural survey that had timber and damp in there as well, and this was a level 3 survey, and it was amazing to me because we always factored in £500 for for surveys. And when we actually came to it, we got quoted £850 for a level 3 survey. Obviously we could take that to a structural engineer, we could get a quote from them, get the structural engineer to look over everything, so when we send it to a builder we can get an accurate quote because we know what works needs doing. So all these are like steps to the process of when someone goes, oh yeah, you just go and you find out what the purchase price is, the refurb cost and the end value. That's not how it works, and this is where we're learning so much now about the things that we're doing with Steve and how we're being educated around this, is to really dive deeper into the whole process of what really goes into a refurbishment project to make sure that you can make the most money, but also so you can like give your offers to the agent in the best way as well. Like if we sit down with the agent and go like, look, we can offer this on the property, but we can offer this because of this, this and this. That's going to be so much better than just going, oh yeah, we're just going to put this offer in with no explanation, because they don't see why they're doing it. Certain house prices, and this is something that's really key actually, make some notes if you've got a pen and paper, make notes on this. House prices at the minute, anything that's over around the 230, 240 grand marker, with the fact that the interest rates on a refinance at the minute, so your mortgage rates at the minute are around 5%, 5.5% sometimes. If the property is worth more than that kind of 230, 240,000 pounds, that money that you're going to need to be paying on a monthly basis because of the interest rates is probably going to be higher than what you would get from a rental point of view. So it is making it very, very hard for it to be an investment property. It's putting it almost outside the remit of what first time buyers or people upgrading and upsizing their house would go to. And it's not a good enough house for the people that are really rich and wealthy that they're going to come in and buy. So them houses that are sitting there between that kind of 250 grand plus to over like 400 grand marker there, they're sitting on the market for a longer period of time. So what do we have to do when we're thinking about putting in our offers to agents? We have to lowball our offer a little bit more, because we're putting a contingency in place because our bridging finance and our refurb might take a little bit longer. And our bridging finance, remember, is continuing until we sell the property or till we refinance the property. And if we can't get a sale on the property, if we're looking at flipping and we're refinancing at a higher rate, we need to be really considering what the end values of the properties are going to be, because we don't want to be stuck with a property that we can't sell, or a property that when we're trying to use it for cash flowing and we're going to use it to try and make money on it each month, we can't do that, or then we're going to have to even lock up more equity in it to bring down that interest rate a little bit more. I know I've just said a lot of words there. If you guys want me to break that down in more detail, I can do that in one of our sit down education videos as well, but there's a lot of different things to factor in here, and there's a lot of different things to consider, especially when we are looking at these kind of properties. And this is what we do for our investors. This is how we put things in place. We've got a full team of people in place. We've got lawyers and solicitors. We have got brokers, and we have got people in place to package these deals up. So there's a difference between us selling a deal. If we sell a deal to you, we will just sell it and you'll go off and you can do your own thing. If you want that deal packaged up, if you want the refurb done, if you want the mortgage to be sorted out, the bridging finance to be sorted out, you want to use the right solicitors, make sure you set up in the right way using a company and everything and getting the right accountants in place. We have got this available to you. We can do this for you, and we can help you with the process to allow you to be as hands-on or as hands-off with the property as you absolutely want. So again, if you guys are interested in investing with us on this kind of thing, top link in the description, you can book a call in with us, we can have a chat, we can go over the details about this in a little bit more basis. But yeah, I know that I've gone off and I've spoken about loads of different random things, but this is just what happens, and I hope you guys get value from the information that we drop in these kind of videos. But managing your business from abroad, it's not easy. When you first start out, can you do it? Not straight away, especially not in property. You need to have the systems and the people in place. But after doing this business now for about 3 years, having an amazing business partner in Dan who manages a lot of the guest communications, having my amazing team like my brother and James, these guys are absolute troopers. So having these different people in our lives, having these different people in our business, being able to take on more and more people in the business, more and more people, especially wink wink, there's some of the stuff coming soon. I wish I could just wink without looking like a complete monk, but there we go guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I say, if you do have any questions about anything, drop it in the comments below. I had an absolutely incredible holiday. It opened my eyes so much to the potential of been able to work away and manage the properties at the same time. So it's definitely stuff I'll be implementing more and more into the future. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell if you are new. So we're going to be trying to get 2 videos out a week for you now. One is going to be a lot more educational. We're going to sit down, we're going to break down a topic in as much detail as we can. The other one is going to be a vlog. It's going to be showing you what's going on in our world in the week. What's going on with the good, the bad, the ugly, everything that's in this property world. We want to get it done because too many people think that it's an easy ride, think that it's a money-making scheme, think that it's just a get-rich-quick kind of thing, and it's not. And we're going to be showing the truth, and we're going to be breaking it down, and I'm going to do that by actually showing you what's happening and not just talking about it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Much love. Thank you for watching. If you've got this far, comment strategy, and I will give you a phone call myself. I'll message you, I'll get your phone number, I'll give you a phone call yourself, and we can jump on a phone 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and we can have a chat about something that to help you get further in your property journey. How does that sound? Just because you've watched this far into the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.